Right. Are you coming?
Sado.
Why?
What are you doing sitting in your car?
I'm going for a drive around the block.
Well, everything's open, I can't.
Alright. I'll see you. I'm just going around the estate to warm it through. Well, I've lost my keys.
Really?
I'll have a cup of tea when I get back here.
Oh, well, you won't be long, will you?
No, I won't. Oh, here we are. This car hasn't started for, I don't know, 6 weeks, I guess, about that. So the rule of thumb, look at that gear, all choke. I don't even know if it will have fuel up in the carb, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the throttle. Nothing on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So she starts happily. This car does need to get some revs up before the charging light goes out. Sometimes it does take quite a while for that to go out. So it might be a regulator or another dreaded alternator, but I don't think so. I think it just needs to get the battery up to charge before that goes out. The first thing is for the car to come up. That's the back going up. Oh, it's good. Just about to start going out, I think. That's the front up. The hydraulic pump has clicked, so it's not constantly pumping now. I'll just leave it to idle a little bit. The lights are working. You can't really see when the lights are on. You can't really see the instrument lights. A lot of people put LEDs in these now, but actually when it's dark, I really like the light that you get from these two dials. It's pretty mellow, pretty green. It's like a 1970s light. It's not like a modern day dashboard that takes your retinas out and prevents you focusing on whatever's in front of you. The heater's working well now after I changed the heater valve, which is good. Right, let's go and find some unsalted roads. Good. It looks like I left the handbrake off, just left the car in gear. So this is the 5-speed long ratio gearbox in the D Super5. Boxster behind me, but not reverse into him. I know it's a him. I recognise the car. So I shall take you around my circuit of unsalted roads. Obviously, the last thing you want to do with a Citroen DS that's pretty well preserved is to drive it on salted roads. So the next opportunity I'll get to take it for a good spin will be after the next rains, because there's loads of salt on the road at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't have a cloth in the car, so I'll just use the demister and see how effective that is together. Really. So this little circuit is a good test for any learner driver, because it's got lots of silly little roundabouts in it. But it'll get the fluids flowing around the car. It'll warm things through. And it'll Done. There we are. Windscreen's nice and clear already. And even the air is already warm. So there's lots and lots of little closes to go up. That was a surprise for the Polo or the Golf. Under a car cover. I wonder what that is. People taking down their Christmas lights. That was a job we did this morning. Choking all the way. Yeah, you see when the revs go a bit higher, the charge light comes off. The fan has suddenly raised its revs. Oh, stalled it. Speed bumps. This is Saintbury Close. This is even tighter than the previous closes. Turn the fan off. It's actually a good excuse to see if there's any new car acquisitions. Oh, it's an electric, all electric family, a Leaf and a Tesla. Box dress. Nice little up. That's a good combo. VW up and a V7 VX70. No, VC. What's it called? XC70. Volvo XC70, which I was looking at for a while. I bought the Range Rover. Choke it again, see if it's warmed up through. What else have we got? Oh, there's a couple of classics down the next close. That house had a nice BMW 330d X-Drive, and they have come out by the looks of it with an X5, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, this one I think has an old Mercedes down it. Oh, stalled again. See if we can start without it. Oh yeah, class. It's an only left-hand drive MX-5 somewhere. Normally there, I think, with that Hyundai, but must be in the garage. There's a Jakey Publad A4 with rusty discs, 2CV dead ahead with an early XC90. We're still on unsalted roads here. So we're going to be very careful going around this corner. So instead of going straight on, there you go, that's why you've got to be very careful. I'm actually going to go right this way. I can tell when it's charging because the indicator speed increases. Now this, where's this jazz going? I want to go down even more close. Not sure what the jazz is thinking. My Civic. There's a car here in an interesting colour. Tiguan in a kind of orangey colour. Orangey red, which is pretty cool actually, considering the world of grey, black and white cars that we live in, or shades of. The Jazz has found a new home to go to, a little bit further on. Wincott Close. This is an unusual close. It's got lots of old 1930s houses in. They're pretty big and they overlook the back of King Edward's School playing fields. But we've got a gear there, we didn't. So although this isn't getting the car up to much of a speed, it's still going to be giving it some mechanical exercise. Oh, look at the Aston Martin. Aston Martin. There we go. In a colour of kind of greeny, bronzy, browny. Yeah. The less said about those, the better. Coming up on the right hand side here was a house with a VW, what was it, a Bora? There was a Jetta, I think. There was a Bora that I helped to sell last year. It sat outside the house. But inside the garage on the right, there's an interesting car that I'm going to be doing a little video on later in the spring, I think, which was a French car that the owner won in a competition. And I had a look at all the paperwork for it, and although the car's only got 34,000 miles on it, it's had 4 clutches. I think it's fair to say the lady who owned it would have been better off with an automatic rather than the manual. Her daughter told me once she tried to rip the gear stick out of the car, which I thought was quite funny. But there we are. That's another story for another time. So what's great is the car isn't damp inside. There's a little bit of condensation. But I'm going to drive it back, put it back under the cover. Actually, that's not true. I'm going to drive it back to the carport. Right, this is the 30 limit. I'm not quite sure whether it's possible to do 30. Well, actually, it must be, because some cars come down here at about 50. 30 miles an hour is about 46 kilometres an hour. The place to do that is not on this road, because despite being in a DS, it does have 2 pretty large speed bumps on it. this car now is after I adjusted the rear brakes, it brakes brilliantly. The front goes down, and then the back literally goes down to the ground as well as the rear shoes come in. It's quite unusual to have a DS with the brakes properly adjusted, but I remember from my old 2CV days that you basically adjust the rear brakes on this car in exactly the same way as you do a 2CV. Is that cat going to stay there? Yeah. And it makes a huge difference to the effectiveness of the braking because the rear brake cylinders have a lot less travel to make. The dry bit of road done. The unsalty piece of road. You can see the line of salt that's dragged off the main road here, so just go for that nice and slow. I now need to work out how to dry out the cover. It's a bit of a faff, to be honest, but all doable. Well done, little car. Aftermarket hazard lights. Great, there we go. So that's my little circuit. I can take this car on in the winter months to keep it exercised. Next job, get the cover sorted.